This is QTV News. I am Mamadou Gajaga and thanks for joining us. First, our headlines. Office items worth $2 million was donated to the Fisheries Ministry after fire ravaged the ministry's building. We hear about the relentless efforts of the donor. A new project is launched by a foundation and students from a UK university to help implement various projects in different institutions and communities in the country. After a successful launch of the new project, the much-needed work to train staff of the Gambia National Museum on preservation of artifacts has commenced. For more on these and other stories, stay tuned. Welcome and thanks for joining us. This is QTV News. Office equipment worth $2 million was on Monday donated to the Ministry of Fisheries, Water Resources and National Assembly members by the Chinese Embassy of the Gambia. The donation came after fire ravaged the ministry's building, destroying important files and office equipment. QTV's Mamadou Lamin Choi was at the handing over ceremony and he now reports.
Just over 1 month since the Fisheries Ministry's building was ravaged by fire, the Chinese embassy in the Gambia has come to their rescue by donating office equipment needed for effective and smooth operation of the ministry. The People's Republic of China's ambassador to the Gambia, Ma Chun, notes the significance China attaches to the field of fishery in its bilateral ties with the Republic of the Gambia.
Sincerely hope that this donation could assist the Ministry of Fishery to overcome the present challenges. The Chinese government attaches great importance to the bilateral cooperation in the field and the fishery with the Gambia.
The Minister of Fisheries, James Gomez, briefed the gathering about the progress they were in the process of when fire engulfed the ministry's building. Gomez also tells QTV how the ministry is surviving after almost all their office files, documents and equipment were burned during the fire outbreak.
We have tried as a ministry to buy some few equipment, but now we can say safely that all our staffs will have equipment to use and this will facilitate their work. Like you can say business as usual in the sense that we are all coming to work, but it's not as fast as we used to operate. It's a bit slow. We work overtime sometimes to get things done.
The China-Gambia relationship has been cordial since the advent of the Adama Barrow-led government, and it has led to the Gambia benefiting from loans and grants and infrastructure development from the People's Republic of China. Gambia's Vice President, Dr. Aïssatou Touré, attended the handing over of the office equipment. She is pleased with China's support, saying that the bilateral relationship between the two countries is based on mutual respect and recognition of each other's sovereignty.
Mr. Chairperson and distinguished personalities, on behalf of the Ministry of Fisheries, Water Resources and National Assembly Matters, I wish to sincerely thank His Excellency the Ambassador and staff of the Chinese Embassy and through them to the government of the People's Republic of China for their invaluable and timely support.
The donated items include 20 sets of desktop PCs with computer cases and screens, 6 sets of TV screens, 20 sets of printers, 20 sets of filing cabinets, 6 sets of air conditioners, 5 sets of scanners, 40 toner cartridges, and 40 sets of UPS. After the handing over ceremony, the Vice President and the Chinese Ambassador were taken on a tour of the destroyed building. The ministry currently operates at the Department of Fisheries, and Minister Gomez says the ministry's business is not running as usual. The minister also tells the press that a joint task force of investigators will soon conclude investigations about the fire outbreak. Mamadou Lamin Choi for QTV News.
Daughters of Africa Foundation, in partnership with students from the University of the West of England in Bristol, on Sunday launched the Diego Project Phase 2. The aim is to help implement various projects in different institutions and communities around the country. This story was by Lamin Dabo and is narrated by Bintu Koko.
The projects to be delivered will be in construction, creative sewing, environmental protection, health training, business and copywriting, digital archiving, photography, and videography, among others. The event is aimed at bringing youth leaders from various youth organizations within the Greater Banjul area and the West Coast region. The program manager for Daughters of Africa Foundation, Famara Fati, says the main objective of the foundation is to empower youths in the Gambia through skills acquisition and reducing youth unemployment.
We will focus on the youth folks, try to give them some employability skills that can earn them their living whenever they find themselves. So as a result, we source expertise from the UK, bring them over to the Gambia, try to train these youths in different disciplines. All these skills are geared towards giving them or arming them with weapons to be able to be self-employed and be able to do things on their own without relying on the government entirely.
Pauline Bailey, co-director of Daughters of Africa Foundation, explains plan for the year 2020. She went on to shed light on the importance of efficient partnership in project implementation.
Build the capacity, really, and so that we can continue our partnership with the University of the West of England. Without good relationships and good management, you cannot succeed.
Mian Ong, the Associate Head of Department and Partnerships at the University of the West of England, says the students' participation is impressive and they would continue to support the DAGO project in the Gambia. She further explains the university students' partnership with Daughters of Africa Foundation.
In 2030 strategy, the university has emphasized the importance of bringing it further to enable students to participate in meaningful projects so that they can utilize their skills and also to share skills and knowledge and education with young people across the world.
The director of Daughters of Africa Foundation, Odiri Igamri, says the Gambia is the first country in West Africa that hosts the foundation. She went on to shed light on the motive behind the DAGO project.
The DAGO project came out of all those partners talking about the needs that they had for development, for international development, for community development, for youth development. So we were looking around in the UK for the best partners, and the University of West England have been our biggest partners so far. You know, we have people coming all over all the time, but the University of England project allows us to really bring over a huge group and to work through several projects and meet a whole range of needs.
Daughters of Africa Foundation was formed in November 2016 in the Gambia and was born out of the initiative led by Corey, a London-based charity that has been developing models of youth and community work in the Gambia since 2014 through its Vessel UK program. Bintu Koka, QTV News.
After a successful launch of the DAGO project on Sunday, Daughters of Africa Foundation, in partnership with visiting students from the University of West of England, on Monday commenced training of staff of the National Museum on preservation of artefacts. QTV's Ansumana Esunyasi was at the museum and he now reports.
The training is part of various projects the visiting students from the University of the West of England and their Gambian counterparts, Daughters of Africa Foundation, are implementing in the country. The National Museum is one of the institutions identified as a beneficiary for these game-changing projects earmarked for communities and institutions across the country. Given the National Museum's importance as the most recognized institution harboring the country's most valuable historical artifacts, officials say the training to digitize relics of the country's historical past couldn't have come at a better time. Mian Ung is the Associate Head of Department for Partnerships at the University of the West of England, and she told QTV that her students are excited to support this collaborative project.
In archiving, for example, some of the photographs at the back of this cabinet, it does need to be recorded and digitized, because if those photographs disappear in future, the young generation will not have that knowledge and also understanding of their own cultural history.
Luca Bal, one of the students taking part in this project, explains the importance of having such a project for the National Museum.
We think that this is important because we want to help preserve everything, and we want to help show your culture so that we can boost the tourism and show your the beauty of your country for what it is.
On behalf of the National Center for Arts and Culture, Mohamed Salah, the Assistant Director for Museums and Monuments, says having such training for museum staff will help them learn new ways of preserving the country's most valuable artifacts.
It will definitely help us because it will also, with the good layout and with the good showcasing of the artworks, it will also make sure that attract more people to come and visit the museum because it will make it more visible, and then it will also be more artistic, and then in that kind of form also that will really help, to attract people to be coming and visiting the museum.
Suleiman Kamara, a member of the foundation, expressed his delight at being part of such an important project. During their stay in the Gambia, the visiting students will launch similar projects in different institutions and communities around the country. Answana Isonyasi for QTV News.
We will go with a short commercial break, and when we return, we find out what a group of young Gambian scientists are planning. And we also hear about consultancy service training for staff at the Gambia Public Procurement Authority. Join us after the break for these stories and more.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
QCell is at it again with its brand new free mobile app.
Oh yes! Now you can access the wonderful world of QCell with the new app and get all your favorite services on the app. There's no need to remember any codes.
Fantastic! No more codes. And even better, with the new app, you can live stream QTV and listen to Q Radio on your phone anywhere, anytime.
Yes! Listen to Q Radio Live, purchase your Q Power tokens, use your Q Money wallet, and do much more, all for free on the app.
Go now and download the app for free from Play Store or the App Store.
And you can get 30 days free QTV streaming once you download the app. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's because it's QCell, the network you trust for great things. QCell, a decade of innovation.
A lifetime of trust.
A group of young Gambian scientists who crossed paths at the MRC Gambia at various stages in their careers on Monday organized a symposium on embarking on careers in the biomedical science to improve population health. Ajubintu Drame attended the event and she now reports.
The symposium, held at the Law Faculty Auditorium at Kanifing, is also expected to inspire new generations of Gambians that will lead to the transformation of the Gambia's educational and healthcare systems by teaching new ideas and skills to overcome challenges and keep pace with the rest of the world. Professor Tumani Kora, Director, Africa Research Excellence Fund, who is the fourth Gambian to be awarded the title Knight Commander of the British Empire, KBE, devoted his career to training and mentoring young African scientists, says that health science is key and fundamental in our lives. He gives solutions in improving the health and livelihoods of population carriers in biomedical science and also gives a word of advice to science students.
To get to that state where one is independent, one has to go to a rigorous training process. Exposure to different types of development, and also the skills and knowledge to carry out research that will impact on the lives of our people. I know of people who are highly skilled and specialized, having gone out to study in foreign lands after completing their training in the Gambia. What this tells me is that the quality and the potential for improvement is there. Government will now need to take the next step, having created university, to invest in the university, building a university that can compete with any other university in the world.
Dr. Nene Sala, a research fellow at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, also among the organizers, says it is a way of giving back to the society and a duty for everyone to change the narratives of the health and educational sector in the Gambia. Dr. Sala continues to say that they have planned to mentor students in helping them with their careers.
Mentorship is something that's really important, and that is a culture that we need to develop. So one of the things that we're hoping to do is be able to be here as contact persons and expand our network so the UTG students and other students can come to us. We will share experiences, stay passionate, be driven, be ambitious, think out of the box, and seek mentors.
Having the infrastructures and no equipment is a challenge for the science students at the University of the Gambia. Suleiman Gay, President University of the Gambia Science Students Association, expressed gratitude for the initiative. However, he states the challenges they face in his department.
Notwithstanding, we also have problem in the area of laboratory services, laboratory equipment. We lack it, and we are in dire need of this. And I am speaking on behalf of the students. I want the government or anybody who is listening and our all stakeholders who can come and help the students in the field of the sciences to get materials where they can lay their hand on practicals. We don't have this opportunity. Our labs are not equipped at all. They are not even labs. Even some high school laboratories are better than them.
With the right equipment and facilities and standard educational institutions, the level of education in the Gambia will no doubt be improved to make standards. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
And we also hear about consultancy service training for staff at the Gambia Public Procurement Authority.
It is part of the mandate of the Public Procurement Authority to frequently enhance the capacity of its staff in public procurement. Close to 60% of the government annual budget is public procurement related. Exposing staff to best practice means of implementing the Gambia's budget accordingly. The Director General of the Gambia Public Procurement Authority, Abdoulaye Tambedu, says given recent developments in public procurement, such as electronic government procurement, it is important for GPPA staff to enhance their capacity.
We once again want to impress on everybody here to take this opportunity to develop their skills in the area of consultancy procurement and management, with a view to ensuring value for money in goods and works and the general public benefiting from the reforms of the procurement sector.
A Gambian procurement expert from the United Kingdom, Dr. William Jabang, the resource person for the training, has been conducting the training free of charge for 2 consecutive years. He says as a Gambian, he needs to give back to his country and stress that there is room for improvement in the Gambia's procurement system.
Key principles of procurement requires that we all understand how things need to be done so that the supplier doesn't try to come and win contracts from me by trying to offer me a bribe, because that's not what procurement is.
Ibrahim Asanyang, a participant, spoke about his expectations.
Some of our expectations may include being able to identify what we need in terms of consultancies, because unlike other procurement methods. Services are intangible. They cannot be feel. They cannot be. You see. So you must have certain skills in trying to draw your requirements and be able to compare them at the end of the day, so that you'll be able to, of course, choose the one that meets your requirements.
The Public Procurement Authority was established as a government regulatory body to regulate the Gambia's public procurement system. According to the GPPA, the training will soon be extended to various stakeholders. For QTV News, I am Jenna Bosonko.
Before we end this bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main news stories. Office items worth $2 million was donated to the Fisheries Ministry after fire ravaged the ministry's building. We hear about the relentless efforts of the donor. A new project was launched by a foundation and students from a UK university to help implement various projects in different institutions and communities in the country. After a successful launch of the new project, the much-needed work to train staff of the Gambia National Museum on preservation of artifacts has commenced. That's all we have for you in this news edition. Join us tomorrow for more news. Have a pleasant night.